Buddy, welcome back to another episode with Nerd Guy 88. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit. I am going to be playing for about 15 minutes, and then we are going to go ahead and end the episode. I do have a timer here in front of me, so we're going to try not to make super long episodes. I actually cannot hear. Let me turn my volume up. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so we're going to go and start a new game. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it veteran because I actually have already played and beaten this game. And we will generate again. No, we'll go ahead and do chapter 1 just so you guys can see the basics of the game. So we'll go ahead and start. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Total Biscuit, or Total Halibut as he is also known, does a lot of the voice acting for this game, actually. So as soon as that starts, I am going to be quiet and let you guys listen in. It's loading. Loading times on this they're not too bad, so you know, it's always good. It's mostly just when you first start it and then when you're loading your game. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot of load times. So let's see what's happening.
Space is a vast and desolate frontier, covering a seemingly infinite distance. Even the speed of light is dwarfed by the unimaginable scale of our galaxy. It took nearly 250 years to bridge the void between Earth and its closest neighboring star. Mankind had mastered the folding of space-time, but relied on the use of warp gates. Massive drone ships journeyed through deep space for centuries, deploying pairs of warp gates which allowed instantaneous travel between connections. Warp-gate travel had not become commonplace until the discovery of a stable element, number 126. This element contained bizarre, transmutable properties, allowing it to be reconfigured into different forms of matter. This made it the most valuable and sought-after commodity in the universe. Mankind quickly became completely dependent on element 126, which the first miners named Res. Due to the increasing demand for Res, the Warpgate network became privatized. Anyone with ample funding was able to deploy new and unregistered Warpgates. Like a new gold rush, convoys of miners traversed the expanding warp network looking for Res deposits. This drove them closer and closer to the galactic core, where Res deposits became richer and richer. The growing number of isolated colonies became unmanageable. As the unique ecologies of each discovered planet intermixed through trade, potential pandemics became a concern. The United Terran Alliance was formed to control interplanetary contamination. They moved to heavily restrict gate access. Military blockades began to screen all trade ships traveling between gates, attacking any unregistered ships that attempted to use them.
That sounds awful.
For a time, the UTA was able to maintain control, but they soon crumbled under the weight of rapid expansionism and bureaucracy. Unable to manage their fleets and borders, the military hierarchy collapsed. Without central leadership, the UTA fleets dissolved into a series of isolated subcells that rarely communicated or traveled beyond local space. Each military subcell now struggles to control their systems by whatever laws they see fit to implement. Despite the enforced isolation, rogues continue the gold rush while refugees amass hidden away from the UTA's eye. They survive within the vast junk fields of an abandoned Earth. There they build a massive flagship named the Clockwork. With it, they intend to travel to the galactic core in search of a legendary motherlode of Res.
Alright, so there's the backstory. Okay, so this is Don Gibson. Okay, folks, it's that time again. This will be our 7th engine test this week. I don't want to go to bed with the radiation burns again tonight, alright? Let's get those puppies fired up good and proper this time. Dr. Carl Memford. Yes, well, you see, we're lucky the toilet's even flush on this brick. I've managed to bootstrap the induction coil to the main core to boost the output, but I don't expect it to maintain a viable reaction. Nuclear particle physics and duct tape do not mingle well, yes? Carl, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Just turn the bloody thing on. Let's see what happens. Oh, that was not what we wanted to happen, obviously. Those are people right there. Elsa Young. Damn, the magnetic stabilizer's blue. We have major breaches on the decks 6 through 10. Our escort ships are gone and we're venting atmosphere. We have crew casualties. Dr. Carl Memphis. You know what? I can't do this, guys. Our crewmen can always be replaced. The ship damage, on the other hand, well, I told you the piece of junk wouldn't hold back an overload. Did you honestly expect any different? Look at what I have to work with here. The blown stabilizer system will have to be replaced before we can even think about trying again. It's a common part. I'm sure there is another one in the junk field somewhere. We still have a working hangar, so let's fire up the fabricator system and build a ship to retrieve it. Okay, so push space to build a ship. So this brings us here. Ship log. That's our mission log, pretty much. So you click here, and this is the only one we have unlocked, is this little crappy tiny one. So we'll go ahead and build. Later on, you can customize them and stuff. You can put different weapons and stuff on them. For now, we really don't have anything. So this controls with WASD. X is going to be the stabilizer. It stops you when you're moving. Your left mouse is going to be your fire button. Your right mouse is your secondary fire button, which we don't have any right now, and then we can zoom. You guys can pause if you want to read this stuff. I'll leave it up for a second just so if you're wanting to, you can pause it and read through it, but I'm not actually going to go through a whole lot of it. Because, like I said, I have played this before. I do know what I'm doing. Now, this ship is tiny, 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 and it is not very good. As you can see, it's got the one laser on the front of it. Oh no, we've lost all the damn liquor. So, click here. This is the system map. This is going to let us travel somewhere else. So we're going to go ahead and go over here where it's mining. Now, this is what some of the beginning of the game is going to consist of, is actually getting the res to be able to get, you know, the bigger ships and stuff. Like I said before, not really going over this stuff a whole lot. Just kind of leaving it up for a second. You guys can pause and read it if you want, and then I'm just going to kind of keep going. These are the different sizes of res and how much they're worth. This is mostly what we're going to find in the beginning. Later on, when you destroy the bigger ships, they'll drop to 500. So here we go. Let's go find some res. We'll zoom in on our ship.
This is an unregistered broadcast from the Resistance, man. Fuck you too, dude. Just say no to cannibalism. Zombies are real.
Just say no to cannibalism. Zombies rule. So you can actually just kind of hang out over here, and they will actually do all this stuff, so you can just kind of collect it. Now this one, there is only room for 20 res. I'm sorry, 100 res? I don't know. Sorry, guys. Oh, right there it says cargo full, so we're gonna go back. Sorry, I'm kind of dumb. Now, one thing to realize is that the W is the forward key, so this depends on where you're facing. So, like, if I'm going this way, this is always forward. So all of them are pretty much where your mouse is sensitive as far as the left, right, back, forward kind of thing. So they need 20 res. I probably could have already been done with this, and I apologize, guys. Like I said, this first little bit, kind of boring. It gets better later on. Can't spoil anything for you, obviously, because it does get kind of crazy, but early on it's kind of slow. I probably should have skipped the... he's going to destroy me. I probably should have skipped the first, you know, tutorial part. So now we have enough, so we're going back. And you can destroy the res. Sorry, that was me clicking space. I don't really have a map, though.
I sure hope you're paying attention. There will be a quiz after.
You know, I just realized I haven't been holding the button to talk to you guys. I'm sorry. I've been showing you everything, but I haven't actually talking. Real quick, customize all this stuff. A little bit on the little ship. You got engines, reactors, shields over here. Now, I know that you probably noticed me doing this. Up here on the bigger ships, you'll get armor, and that's where these upgrades will go, is up here. And as you can see, they get better and better. Green's the worst, then this bluish teal, then the yellows, and the red. The red is usually like the experimental parts. So they're actually pretty good. On my other game that I have, and see, now I've got this guy. On my other game that I have, I actually have a ship with almost all experimental parts, and it got pretty easy to the point where I just kind of go into a section, keep launching missiles until everything dies. That's really all it is. So let's see, what are we supposed to do now? Both two dart ships. Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, guys. It wants us to build 2 dart ships. So, change hull, dart ship. Now, he's going to warp out of here, and then it'll start building another dart, and then it'll warp in. So, here's the dart. So, you can see it's got 2 lasers instead of the mining. A little bit more agile as well.
I sure hope you're paying attention. There will be a quiz after.
All this is saying is each one of these bubbles shows how big your ship can be. Tiny, small, medium, large, and huge, I think it is. So you can have up to that, and then I think at the end you can have like 4 ships. And obviously I can switch back and forth between these 2. So we're going to dock with the mining base. And as you can see, this one's a lot faster too. It's also got a smaller amount of res that it can hold. Okay, so we took a contract. If we come down here, miner favor. Miners are willing to help rebuild the clockwork in exchange for assistance. So, find the UTA. Okay, so they're wanting us to go to the mission location, which is at Saturn, and do something there. But it is at the 15-minute mark. It's actually at about 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for watching, guys, and you guys have a good day. Right, okay, so if we come back to the system map, you actually have to be at your base to save. Otherwise, it will not let you. So that's why we ended it early. Ha ha ha.